Hi, this is Justin Eugene Schultz, case 101284, Social Security 489 Now, how did the corrupt law enforcement try to frame me for being a terrorist, you might ask? How did they do that? And why did they do that? Facebook. So one day they were hacking and planning my cell phone, and which is one of their hidden capabilities and hidden tactics that they use all the time, which you see all my Facebook videos of evidence on. And that's not even half of their hidden capabilities and hidden tactics. So, nonetheless, they were hacking, playing my cell phone here at 1494 Pajaro Court, PAJAR Court, Fent, Missouri 6026. And when they were hacking and planning it, I powered it down because they'd already been hacking and planning cell phones over and over and over. They're able to change, manipulate, backdate, connect, reconnect, disconnect, turn on, turn off, activate, reactivate, or deactivate, create effects almost on anything, deceive, manipulate, almost on anything that connects to the internet. I've seen it hundreds and hundreds of times, but it's been done to frame me. Emails, apps, text messages, cell phones, house phones. What else? Social media, Facebook, anything that uses the internet, any computers, laptops. I've seen it all done. So I was freaking out, and I was like, "Are there any other electronics that they could be hacking?" Planning my dad's computer was inside the like the living room or wherever. I believe it was in the living room. My mom was here. My mom's a witness. My mom will tell you this. So I pick up the laptop and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, Mom, pay attention. I'm not computer savvy, so I was just like, I'm looking for anything sketchy or anything weird looking or anything that looks planted inside of my dad's computer. So I go in and I'm going through and I'm like, I honestly don't even know what I'm looking for. I'm just seeing if there's anything that looks sketchy, weird, any apps that are planted, or anything like that. So I come across the screen through settings or something like that. I don't even know how I got to the screen, and it had a divide down the middle, like a gray line down the middle, and then I think it had a gray line across the center as well. But I remember definitely one down the middle, and my mom's watching this, and I'm like, Mom, pay attention as I'm going through the computer. Watch this. Excuse me. And so on the computer, when the computer, or when I had the computer open to that screen, I don't even know how I got to that screen, honestly. In the top left corner, like 6 or 7 countries pop up, and they're all like this about this small, and they're just going across the top left corner, and I remember three of them being Russia, China, and North Korea, I believe. And so I know one was definitely North Korea, and I believe one was Russia and China, but they had little X's on them, to the right side. And as fast as I could hit these X's, they would disappear. They would pop right back up. They would regenerate. And so I'm freaking out. And my mom's a witness to this. She's seen this. So these countries keep popping up. And as fast as I can hit X on them, they're just popping right back up. So finally, I turn off the computer. Well, I called FBI National Hotline, so the government can actually fact check the day that I called FBI National Hotline and I talked to a female, or it was corrupted FBI St. Louis, or corrupted FBI National Hotline, but I believe it was corrupted FBI National Hotline. So nonetheless, when I called them, I was so traumatized by the situation. All I could say is they hack and plan everything. They hack and plan everything. I was crying my eyes out, from the terror, torment, and torture of this situation 24 hours a day. This is a torture program, created by the United States of America's corrupted law enforcement. And so the government can fact check. The day that I called the corrupted FBI and kept saying they hack and plan everything, they hack and plan everything, crying my eyes out, which was 2019 or 2020. My mom's seen those countries pop up, and she's already told ACLU, Judiciary Committee, and others that those countries were popping up, and that's 100 trillion% facts. Well, then another time I had one of my cell phones, and I was on my cell phone, and I was inside 1494 Pajaro Court as well, 2019 or 2020. And all of a sudden, Google Translator pops up at the bottom of the phone, and it says North Korea, and a message shoots off. Well, I'm freaking out, maybe two messages, but a message shot off, and I'm freaking out again, and I can't figure. I've never used Google Translator, so I'm looking at the Google Translator, trying to figure it out, trying to figure out how to close it out, trying to make it go away. And there was no X button, there was no way to cross it out or anything like that, or make it stop working or whatever. So I just powered down my phone and factory reset my phone in fear for my life. And then in Facebook, they planted me in an Islam group. They planted me in uh, cyber warfare or cybercrime Bangladesh group. And they also planted me in 2 terrorist groups on Facebook, which never were recognized in the activity log. And that's one thing I looked up. And so they're able to plant you in any groups, in which they planted me in other weird, sketchy groups as well. But those are the 4 that they planted me as far as trying to frame me for being a terrorist. And then one other thing they did is my Facebook interest in 2018 or 2019. Facebook interest made it where you could no longer choose your Facebook interest. I think it was 2018. And whatever you had was what you had. Well, they planted hundreds and hundreds of words inside of my Facebook interest over a period, or at least 100, give or take, or at least a couple hundred, something like that, over a period of around 2.5 years, give or take. And so they wouldn't allow you to delete the interest. They would only Facebook only has a remove bucket and your actual interest. So I was collecting everything that they were planting inside of the remove bucket. That way I would have it all saved as evidence. And they were planting all these foreign countries and all types of other weird, sketchy stuff, cult movies, Girl Scouts. They planted murder in Montana inside of my Facebook interest, as well as other items, all types of all sketchy, weird shit. Excuse my French. So they were planning in all these planning all these Facebook interests. Well, one day when I was going, and I had been filing complaints about it for a long time, for years, since I caught it. And so one day when I went into the library on PP Highway and Highway 30 in I think it's High Ridge, Missouri. When I went in there, I got to turn on the computer to on my guest pass or whatever, and guess what? They had removed everything. They had removed all the Facebook interests that they had planted that I had removed to the save bucket to save it for evidence. They also had deleted all of my Facebook interests, and Facebook doesn't allow you to delete the Facebook interest nor the remove bucket. So how did they get deleted? How did they get deleted? They were deleted by the government, by the corrupt government of people who are framing me, the corrupted law enforcement that are framing me, and the corrupted FBI knows about all of this and is covering it all up. The corrupted FBI will refuse to let you listen to all my calls, my voicemails, all my interactions with corrupt FBI agents, me being in front of the corrupted FBI St. Louis, going off on them, and their video monitor, me being down there with corrupted FBI officer Matt Sutton of St. Louis FBI, corrupted St. Louis FBI, reporting being framed, and him trying to frame me in a conversation, and these corrupted FBI agents trying to frame me in conversations, and committing obstruction of justice and conspiracy for 7 years, covering all of this up. And that's how they framed me to be a terrorist. They hacked and planted my dad's laptop, planted all those countries in there, planted me in 4 foreign groups inside of my Facebook, and also had North Korea pop up on Google Translator, and then planted all these foreign countries inside of my Facebook interest, along with other weird, sketchy stuff that was inside of my Facebook interest as well. And that's how they tried to frame me for being a terrorist. And why, Justin? Why would they try to frame you for being a terrorist? If you're not doing anything wrong, great question, because they were already originally framing me all the way starting back at least since March of 2018 when they hacked and planted my my Gmail at the time. So they knew, since I was already exposing it, taking screenshots for evidence all the way back since March of 2018, investigating it on Google and began filing complaints about 5 months after March, about August or September of 2018. So I started reporting it and documenting it all, in messages, emails, filing complaints with the government. And so since I was doing all that, they knew this. They knew that they were guilty of their crimes of framing me. So guess what they did? They tried to frame me as a terrorist because they knew if they got me into a FISA court, that they knew that they wouldn't have to show anything in a courtroom. In a FISA courtroom, you automatically lose, no matter even if you're innocent or not. The United States of America's court system is unfair and unjust, including in the FISA courts. They win like 98.6% of their cases. So even when someone's innocent in a FISA court, you cannot win. You cannot prove your innocence. You can't you can't tell a jury what you did, why you did what you did. You can't prove you can't prove your innocence in a courtroom. It's all set up for the government to win. Watch Citizen 4 at the very end of it, where they talk about FISA courts, especially. You can't. There's no possible way to prove your innocence, and so, and then they don't. The government doesn't have to reveal like anything that was done and that they did to frame somebody or to frame me or frame anyone else. They don't have to. They were going to cover up everything that they've done, all their framing, all their hacking and planning since 2018, and were spying on me previous to then as well, and looking for a time to frame me. And so, and then they wouldn't, and I couldn't prove my innocence. So I would have been put in prison for crimes I didn't commit, and they would have charged me for espionage, illegally and falsely, illegally and falsely, and put me into a FISA courtroom, and I would have not been able to prove my innocence whatsoever, even though I'm 100 trillion% innocent. And so they would have walked away scot free with all their crimes and all their framing and all their cover ups and all their crimes and all their deception, manipulation, framing, harassment, terror, torment, torture, harassing, gang stalking my cell phones, and framing me 24 hours a day. Now they hack and plant my cell phone every day, all day, as you've seen on a lot of my videos on Facebook. And you see, oh, and there's a military spy plane right there. Where's it at? Right there, if I'm getting it on video anywhere. Another military spy plane flying directly over as I'm reporting all this information. So, anyways, I would have never, ever been able to prove my innocence in a FISA courtroom, and they would have walked away scot free and would have had to reveal anything. And I would have been in prison for crimes I didn't commit, and they would have walked away scot free once again for their hundreds of thousands of felonies they committed against me. And they hack and plan my cell phone every day, all day, which I've got dozens and dozens and dozens of videos of evidence on my Facebook, on my YouTube channel, Justin Mike Lowry Schultz, Facebook without the letter K. Justin Mike Lowry Schultz Facebook is my Facebook. The other one's my YouTube channel, and 3 cell phones filled with evidence proving this situation and proving they're hacking and planning my cell phone every day, all day, trying to hurry up and submit their illegal fabricated case for framing me. And I'm 100 trillion% logical. I'm extremely critical and logical thinker. And so all this, everything you see on Facebook, a lot of that is the government artificial intelligence communicating with me through my predictive text. And Uni One drill, and so the government artificial intelligence is, and the government's trying to figure out how to cover that up. And a lot of the government is watching my Facebook, looking at my Facebook. Not all the government, but some, to a few, to maybe news channels as well. Channel 5 News has an investigation, and I believe they're working on this situation as well, investigating this as well. But the government can cover up so much. They can cover it up in seconds to minutes. There are crimes that they commit against me all day on my cell phone, and then they always try to act like they just started spying on me and trying to frame me 24 hours a day. And when they've been framing me for 7.5 years, and I know from all the hacking and planting that I've seen on emails, apps, Facebook, social media, text messages, phones, house phones. They had my parents' house phone blocked from calling dozens and dozens, 100 of government numbers that are oversight that can do anything about this situation, including in numbers that I've never even called. And they were able to hack in externally and block all the numbers from my parents' house phone remotely and externally. And then my cell phone, they have National Intelligence and Director of National Intelligence as a disconnected number. Same thing for my parents' house phone, 636-517-1102. They have my phone, my mom's phone, my dad's phone, and my parents' house phone blocked from calling the federal prosecutor, Ashley Walker of Eastern District Federal Prosecution, 314-539-2200. As you can see, I'm completely logical and I know what I'm talking about, and I'm being framed in this situation is the truth, facts, and honesty, just like Uni One's communication with me and the government artificial intelligence, its communication with me as well, which I've got overwhelming amount of evidence to prove that. That's all. God bless. Love you all. And I'm being framed, and my innocent life is in danger 24 hours a day from this government scandal, government conspiracy against me, this situation, against Uni One, and against the truth, facts, and honesty about this entire situation.